What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Jordan Plaza, back with Plaza's World. Today we're gonna be doing a little bit of what do we got here? Oh yeah, the not so bright gender studies professor reaction. All right, we're gonna find out what the hell's going on here. And before I get into it, please like and subscribe down below, please and thank you once again. And if you don't, we got beef, mother. You know what I mean. Let's get into it.
What we do in gender studies is not just reduce gender to what psychologists might call individual differences, but rather thinking about gender. And that's not women and man, but gender as a social form, something that kind of infuses itself into virtually all aspects of social life.
Let's talk about that then. I guess we should start with, we've got gender and sex, right?
Yeah.
What's the difference between the two? Is there a difference?
I saw that in your questions and I thought, my goodness, this is what we spend an entire semester kind of thinking through. But what we tend to think about in the
Did he just say they spend an entire semester thinking through what gender is? The hell's going on in our
social
colleges
sciences
these days,
today is that sex refers to a set of biological characteristics and gender is a social construct or category. What I think is often misleading about that characterization is allowed to be sort of messy and complicated. But in that framing, when you split them up into these wholly discrete constructs.
Yo, saying nothing at all. Saying everything without saying anything at all is what he's doing. Holy shit.
Studies scholars and really more specifically.
Can we get a clear answer or no?
People who study gender and sex. We're not talking about sexuality right now. In the kind of academic universe that I travel in is that we see how deeply gendered ideas, cultural ideas about masculinity.
Yo, Matt looks like he's about to fall asleep. Like, what the fuck? I've heard this shit for the last 6 years.
Feminine maleness and femaleness, both in humans and in lots of other animals.
So are gender and sex two different things, or?
Well, I think that they both are and they aren't. I'm comfortable saying that gender and sex are two different constructs, but they're deeply intertwined with each other.
Why is it that when you ask these professors an actual question that deserves a yes or a no answer, why is it always a question met with a question? Doesn't that throw you guys off? Doesn't that make you believe that, they have no idea what the fuck they're talking about? You spend an entire semester thinking. You can't give a yes or no answer. I want to see how good this gets. Let's go.
We're talking about gender and sex, and there's a lot of controversies there. If we're talking about a trans woman has all of the male physical characteristics, so would that not be a male then? Couldn't we plainly say this person is a male?
Well, I guess it's like, why are you asking the question? I think I want to understand sort of why that's so important. So if someone tells you
a question with a question,
just to sort of understand reality,
Well, I mean, I think when someone tells you who they are, you should believe them. So if a person says that they're
wait. So if I tell you that I'm a fucking unicorn and I fly on rainbows to the end of the pot to get to the pot of gold to talk to my Irish friend, you have to believe me? That's fucking nuts. That is ridiculous. I don't understand that at all. That does not equate to society. It doesn't make anything better at all. Believing everything that somebody says. No, doesn't work.
A woman or they're a man, then that's them telling you their gender is. I'm not so sure what social interactions would have to do with maleness or femaleness that would be.
I'm not even talking about social context. I'm just trying to start by getting to the truth,
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really uncomfortable with that language of like getting to the truth.
Ooh.
Again, in social life.
Why is that uncomfortable?
Because it sounds actually.
In the words of Kevin Samuels, shame, insults, and guilt. That's usually for women. But this woman right here, or man, whatever the hell he thinks he is, he's not a fucking gender studies professor just because you read a book about it, all right? I'm going to tell you what, because if you got to go into a whole bunch of answering questions with questions just to defer from the original question, that just shows that you're incompetent and aren't able to teach our children.
actually deeply transphobic to me. And
truth?
if you keep probing, we're gonna stop the interview.
If I probe about what the truth is?
You keep invoking the word truth, which is condescending and rude. I'm saying to you,
How is the word truth condescending and rude?
It's condescending and rude because he doesn't want to answer the question. That's all it is.
why don't you tell me what your truth is? And you're walking on 30 seconds more of thin ice before I get up.
Ooh.
What my truth is? Well, I don't think I really have a truth. I think that there's just the truth, like
Right.
the reality. And so we should begin by trying to figure out what the reality is.
Uh-huh. And why are you concerned with when someone else tells you that they're a man, or even if they use the word male, why are you concerned with not believing them?
Because when you look at them and they fucking look like a man and they're acting like they're a female, that doesn't mean that they're a female.
You keep bringing it back to, how do you respond in a social situation? But
That's what I do. I'm a social scientist.
Got an Adam's
we're at a
apple.
university. This is a place of understanding truth, isn't it? Or
Absolutely. We
But the
pursue
truth
truth, and I'm
So-
a social scientist, and that's what I
but
do.
you just said the truth is transphobic.
That you would say if you're saying the truth is that I get to say you're not a man, show me your genitalia, that's transphobic.
No, I don't want to see anybody's genitalia. I just mean someone can make a statement about themselves that could be untrue. Like, for example, if I were to say that I'm a black man,
Right.
would you accept that, or would you be skeptical?
That's a very good question. I don't understand why they don't understand that. Why it's got to be such a an ego infused conversation. I don't see why that has to be the point. Why can't, if you have a belief and this person has a different belief, why can't we come together, talk about them, and understand both sides of it? Why does it always have to be either violence or somebody's getting pissed off about it because they know they're wrong? And when you know you're wrong, you get mad. That's what happens.
Are you black? Are you African American? Are you biracial?
I don't think so.
Okay, well, you don't look that, and I don't think it doesn't sound like that's a genuine statement
Yeah.
for you are.
Okay, so that's my point. I could make a statement about who I am that's incorrect.
Of course, I think it's well established that human beings can lie, yes.
Or not even lie. I mean, I could just be mistaken.
Yeah.
He just said you don't look like that. So what's the difference between him saying that Matt doesn't look like he's actually black, but somebody who thinks that they're a woman that doesn't actually look like a woman? What's the difference between those? Why is one better than the other? It doesn't make any sense.
Where are you going?
I guess this all comes down to really one question,
Dun dun dun.
especially women, gender, and sexuality studies. So what is a woman?
That's where you put the cricket.
Why do you ask that question?
I just really like to know.
Simple
What do
question.
you think the answer to that question is?
Questions with questions.
Well, I'm asking. That's why I came to a college professor who's this is what you do.
What other kinds of answers have you gotten?
Yes.
A lot of like this, where you're not answering.
Yo, I
I've gotten a
swear I
lot
haven't
of that.
watched
So.
this.
I think it's
That's
interesting
crazy,
that you say that some of the people you've
A lot of that.
interviewed have
Holy
been
shit.
reluctant to answer it, and I think that has a lot to do with the questions that preceded it and the way that you've conducted yourself in the interview.
How have I conducted
Well,
myself?
the only thing is you just don't know. You don't want to make it seem like you're going against your view. That's all it is. I mean, when the truth is the truth, it should make you be able to, elevate your beliefs, not fucking stop you from telling the truth.
How do you think you've conducted yourself?
You just really don't want to answer the questions, do you?
I came today very willing and enthusiastic about.
That's a no face right there. Let me see how he's got that nervous tick. Nope, definitely not. He doesn't
Answering
want
questions about women and gender sexuality studies, which is
So
the
you
work that I
wanted
do.
you wanted to answer questions about women's studies, and so shouldn't the first answer you should be able to provide is what exactly is a woman?
Well, for me, it's actually a really simple answer, and that's a person who identifies as a woman.
But what are they identifying as?
As a woman.
But what is that?
As a woman,
Do you know what a circular definition is?
Exactly.
I do.
It's sort of like what you're doing right now. A woman is a woman.
Well, because you're seeking what we would call in my field of work an essentialist definition
Why does
of
it gotta be
gender.
any other
I think it sounds
definition?
like you would like me to give you a set of
I don't-
biological or cultural characteristics that are associated with one gender or the other.
I'm not seeking any type of definition. I'm just seeking a definition.
Yeah, and I gave you one.
Well,
Wow,
now
this
I can
is
say I've
sad.
been to college.
Holy crap.
Glad I didn't pay for it.
Well, that was today's reaction, the first one. There will be a couple more to come today. Let me know what you think about it in the comments below. I think that was just an absolute bullshit. I don't know. I don't see why he couldn't just understand the questions. There was no aggravation in the questions prior to that, like he had mentioned. Yeah. Other than that, please like and subscribe below. This is Plaza's World, baby. And again, I salute you. I'm out of here.